I mean, Steve may suspect that his ace-queen is the best hand, but I'll tell you, it's a tough call to make here. What's the 22-year-old rookie going to do? He's going to lay it down.
He can't take the pressure. No.
Well, outplayed by the pro there, no doubt about it. Give David Singer credit for the way he played that hand. He stayed aggressive. He sensed weakness on his opponent's part, and he took advantage of it, Vince.
A lot of people would tell you they never get nervous, but I get nervous. I don't like to lose. I was thinking maybe one of the reasons I've done well so far in this tournament is my rings. I have about 50 rings, and I switch them around depending on how I'm doing. And a few people think I wear the rings to be intimidating, but then if you look closely, they're all animals. Some of them cuddly, some of them sharks. But usually when I'm doing well, like I have been, I don't change them for a few days. Before I played poker, I was actually an environmental lawyer. I worked at a non-profit organization trying to work on water issues, trying to clean up the Long Island Sound.
David Singer adapts very well to his opponents.
David Singer's relentless and ruthless at the table.
David Singer, he's the player I think I'm going to double up through.
People come from all different walks of life into poker. That's one of the things that makes it interesting. All different kinds of people playing the game together.
Now, if you look in front of David, look at that luck charm he's got. He's got the frog there. That was given to him by his girlfriend, and it has become his lucky charm, along with those rings.
Well, you're right. His girlfriend Mandy in the house. She's a poker player herself. In fact, played in this tournament here, Vince.
Let's go back down to the table. It's on Brooke Leiter. Let's take a look at the WPT whole cam brought to you by Budweiser. Brooke's got a pretty good starting hand. King, Queen, offsuit.
Well, you're right. King, Queen in a four-handed game. Pretty good hand.
125.
And he's going to raise it up to 125,000. Now the 18-year-old behind him, Michael Higgins, he's got a good hand as well. Ace-10 offsuit.
And Michael has about 875,000 left.
Raise.
And he says raise.
Well, Vince, the other three players all have over $2 million in piece. He makes it 300,000 to go.
Steve with 6-5, a little suited connector. Does he want to get dangerous here? Nope, he goes out. David Singer with King-Jack has to go out. Action on the original raise of Brooke.
Well, he's studying the stack size of his opponent. He sees his opponent's got less than 600,000 left. Does he want to gamble here with King Queen? Does he want to call a $175,000 raise?
How much to call?
175.
Call it.
He says, yeah, I'll call.
So it's King Queen for Brooke, Ace-10 for Michael.
We got Mr. Lucky so far. Brooke Leiter going against the kid, the short stack.
Oh, and a great flop for Brooke.
He's hit his pair of queens. He's got a big kicker. Now, how does he play it?
His opponent's got about 600,000 left. A little bit less.
Well, Brooke's been the master of the slow play tonight. Has paid off well. Look at it once again. He's going to set a trap. He checks. Now, will the kid go for it? He caught nothing on that flop.
He is going to bet here, Vince. Looks like he's getting out some chips.
Oh, boy.
So you'd almost think if he's going to make a bet at it, Vince, he's got to put it all out there. But he's not doing that. He's betting 250,000 is all.
Going for the holdup with absolutely nothing. And now back around to Brooke. He does get the bet he wants. Would love to send this kid home to watch Barney.
Well, you would think that Brooke would just go ahead and set him in here, Vince. You wouldn't want to give me any free cards that could beat you here.
Not without a little performance first, though, Mike, I might add.
I'm all in.
There it is, all in.
All you Hollywood guys stick together.
And, oh, Michael wants no part of it. Disgusted, has to lay that down quickly. And the trap play working beautifully today.
Michael with 400 and some thousand left wants to save it for a better spot. You just wonder if he'd have been a lot better off of just going ahead and moving the 800,000 in before the flop, forcing his opponent to make a decision. Does he really want to play for all the money with just king high? Again, Brooke getting lucky on the flop, Vince. He's catching some cards and playing them well.
And right now, our 18-year-old in very grave condition. He is short stacked with a little over 300,000 action on him.
Well, he looks down at a nice hand here, Vince. He's got ace queen of clubs. You think he'd just go ahead and put it all out there?
100.
Well, he's going to go up to a $100,000 raise.
Now, many guys, when they're on a short stack like that, would just go ahead and stick them all out there.
Well, he would like to get some value here. He's got a big hand now. It's on Steve. He's got 3-5 offsuit. Can't possibly play. He goes out.
David Singer could certainly play because he's got ace high.
Doesn't want to play, though, and round up Michael's nemesis, Brooke Leiter, the big blind.
He's got king nine of diamonds. Well, Vince, as we've seen, he's been hitting a lot of flops here. It's going to cost him $70,000 more to try to hit this one.
And he's going to call it.
He's going to gamble, see if he can catch a flop here. So let's see if Brooke can get lucky again.
Here come the first three.
Oh, he's done it, Vince. He's flopped two pair.
He certainly
Kings
has.
and nines.
Oh,
and he checks.
He's the king of the trappers, this guy. And without hesitation, Michael, who has just an inside straight draw, goes all in.
Well, he's going to quickly get called here, no doubt about it.
Oh, what a debacle here for Michael Higgins, spinning out of control right now. He needs a miracle.
Need a jack.
Well, right now, this Ohio State Buckeye is going to have to catch a jack to make an ace-high straight, or two runners in some form of aces and queens to stay alive here.
What an opportunity for Brooke Leiter to knock out another young player. He's in a great place. The 18-year-old needs a jack right now. Otherwise, it is back to the Cub Scout meeting.
Could our second 18-year-old at this table bite the dust?
Here we go with the turn.
It's a queen.
Ooh.
So now Michael needs an ace, a queen, or a jack to win this pot.
Oh.
So this gives him more outs now.
He would love to get this suck out. The dream of $1.4 million still intact. A four of clubs on the river.
Well, that's going to do it.
Michael Higgins from Proctorville, Ohio, our fourth place finisher.
He's going to take home $327,000 for his efforts here this week.
We are down to three.
And Vince, so far, they've gone out right around the horn. Seat 6, seat 5, seat 4. Will seat 3 be next to go?
More high-stakes tropical poker action as the WPT continues from the Bahamas after this.
Atalantis.
And Vince, once again, we are witnessing the beauty of poker, that anybody can win. We've got a top pro and David Singer still alive, as well as two amateur players living the dream.
Don't forget the winner's going to take home close to $1.4 million.
And Vince, with the chip count of these players, all of them having over $2 million, it's anybody's game from here.
Action's going to be on Brooke. With the button,
Raise.
he looks down at ace-5. He says raise.
Certainly, you got to feel like Brooke is running the best of these three at the final table so far.
He is doing everything right, and he's going to make it $125,000. Into Steve Paul Ambrose, who's got a junky little 10 deuce.
He's got a hand we call the Doyle Brunson. A hand that was named after Doyle because he won the world title 2 years in a row with exactly that hand, a 10 deuce. What is he thinking about here, Vince? It's been raised to him.
Is he going to try a little larceny?
I raise.
Yes,
He's going to re-raise here. This is incredible to re-raise with a 10 deuce. I guarantee you, whatever happens here, you know Doyle Brunson sitting in his lazy boy back at home with a big grin on his face.
Well, it's a $350,000 raise. David quickly folding. And now around to Brooke.
He's made that ace-5 shrivel up a little bit. Well, he is putting the pressure on this 34-year-old from West Fargo, North Dakota. He's going to throw it away. So Steve Paul Ambrose earning that pot.
He just plundered that pot.
Oh, there's no better feeling in poker than to earn a pot with the worst hand by re-raising your opponent.
Well, Mike, you know, these players have traveled a long, hard path getting to this final table. But as you know, judging from our frequent flyer miles, we have traveled a long, hard path getting to the WPT events.
Well, when you make the world your poker room, it may seem like a nonstop vacation, but for some of the players on tour, that's not always the case,
as Courtney Friel found out in this week's WPT Academy.
Imagine a trip that took you from Paris and the Bahamas to Atlantic City and Vegas. Sounds like fun. But for players who travel the world to play on the WPT, life on the road is not always a sure bet.
I love being in all the different places, but I hate the packing.
When you travel to some of these destinations, you feel, boy, I don't want to take any chances the first day. After traveling this far, 2 hours in the tournament, I make a play and I'm out. You really feel stupid.
A few years ago, it used to be the same 100, 200 players playing the circuit. Now it's a lot of new players coming, which is great. It makes the prize pools much bigger, but it makes it also much, much tougher to get to the final table and win.
When my girlfriend and I got together, she said she wanted to travel the world. Well, now we have, but she feels like she never went anywhere because we're always inside a casino. So what we've tried to do in each venue is come a day early So we'll spend a day traveling the city where the casino is. I think it's definitely a psychological advantage if you've already done something positive with your partner.
Odds are when you go to a poker tournament, you're not going to make the final table, so I figured I'd have more time to spend outside on the beach.
Some of them say, well, if I get knocked out, then I'm going to have my trip. I'm going, well, it doesn't work out that way. They get knocked out. They're really not much fun to be around. I think it's good that we do have this chance to see some of these other places. A lot of us would never leave Las Vegas if we didn't have this opportunity.
With that, the antes and blinds are going up, $5,000 antes, and the blinds are going to be $25,000 and $50,000, Mike.
Well, that's $90,000 all players have to put in for every 3 hands that are dealt. And you got to step it up a notch.
All right, action on the 22-year-old Steve. He looks down at a nice hand, ace-queen.
Hard to play much faster than he did the last hand, Vince, but he's going to raise this one, too. Comes in for $150,000.
Okay, on David Singer. And David's got a decent hand, got a little wired pair of threes.
Well, this is the kind of hand that a lot of players like to see flops with. And some just re-raise and come right over the top of the small pairs. David opting to call here.
Well, he's not gotten aggressive with the 5s earlier, and now the 3's just going to call. Now it's on Brooke, who's got 10-7. He's already invested, so he says, I'll call the remainder.
Well, there's $365,000 out there. It cost him $100,000 to call. So he's going to call it. We have a family pot, 3-way action. Here comes the flop. Flop comes king 6-5, no help to anybody.
It's on David. Actually, we know because the Budweiser hold cam, he's out in front. He checks it.
Brooke checks right behind him.
And who is this imposter, Steve?
255.
Once again, he's going to bet.
Well, give this kid credit, Vince. He is taking the bull by the horns here, 3-handed.
He sticks in $255,000.
He is betting again without the best hand.
Back around to David Singer with his pair of 3s. Nothing really hitting for him on the flop. What's he thinking about? No, it is a very tough call to make.
I can't imagine he would make a call, Vince. You don't want to just call, give your opponent a chance to beat you. You think you have the best hand or a hand that he might lay down, you might come over the top of him here.
He's testing him. He's putting chips out in front of him. Does he mean business here? And he's putting out a lot of chips here. How does he know? Look at this. It's going to be a raise. He's gone up $400,000 in addition. Just phenomenal. Brooke quickly folding. And that is going to sting the 22-year-old.
Well, David's thought process was he knows if he raises this, if his opponent doesn't have a king in his hand, it's going to be very difficult for him to make this call, whatever he has.
One slip up, you're out of this event. Third place, $436,000, and the winner close to $1.4 million. So much pressure right now.
Steve glancing over at David. Knows he's capable of making a play in this spot. But still, when you just have ace high, your opponent has check raised you here on the turn. You can't like it.
Can he back this up? No, he's going to go out.
Well, Steve is going to lay the hand down. And Vince, you just have to chalk that one up to experience. Now, let's be honest, Vince. All the viewers that watch week in and week out, and they come up to us and say, you know, I can play as good as those guys. I should be at a final table on the World Poker Tour. Let me ask you, folks, could you honestly have won that pot if you were sitting in David Singer's seat? I doubt it.
That was a brilliant play by the great David Singer.
I'm Courtney Friel, and here's a recap of the fun in the sun so far.
The fun turned to fury in the very first hand. As young Ozzie Shake saw his pocket aces get blown away by trips, leaving him on a raft with no sail. Then, North Dakota amateur Brooke Leiter used crafty play and good luck to snag both Swedish newcomer Anders Hendrickson and Ohio State freshman Michael Higgins. With established pro David Singer and 22-year-old Canadian Steve Paul Ambrose matching wits, the quest for the $1.3 million first prize is far from over.
Vince, we're seeing some incredible poker here. Guys making move, re-raising, taking pots away from their opponent without the best hand. That is just terrific poker.
Let's go back down to the felt. Action is going to be on Brooke Leiter. With the button in front, he throws away King 5.
Steve in the small blind with a 7-6 is going to limp in. He's going to call.
David Singer with Jack 10 in the big blind. Will he get aggressive?
And he's going to raise it just 75.